Chicago just got hit with news that nobody wanted to hear, and it changes everything about the final stretch of this season. Right when the playoff race tightens, right when every snap matters, the Bears lose a massive piece of their identity. This isn't a minor setback or a short-term bump in the road. This is the kind of moment that tests depth, coaching, and belief inside the locker room. The margin for error is officially gone, and now the pressure shifts to the next man up to hold the line. Soldier Field is about to feel heavier, louder, and far more tense. Bears fans, this is a defining moment. Hit subscribe, smash the like button, and lock in, because Chicago's response will tell us everything. Let me get straight to it, because there's no point dancing around the truth here. Ben Johnson is now staring at one of the toughest reality checks of his first season as head coach of the Chicago Bears. And it comes in the form of Kyler Gordon being placed on injured reserve at the worst possible moment. This isn't just a roster move. This is a gut punch. This is the kind of news that forces a head coach to recalibrate expectations, rotations, and trust right when the margin for error has disappeared. Make no mistake about it, Kyler Gordon going to IR effectively ends his 2025 regular season. 4 games. Gone. No chance to return unless the Bears secure a playoff spot. And while Ian Rappaport's report about hopes he returns for the playoffs sounds nice on paper, hope doesn't win games in December. Execution does, availability does, and Gordon simply hasn't had it this season. Ben Johnson didn't sugarcoat it, and frankly, he shouldn't. This team is 9-4, clinging to the number 7 seed, and every snap from here on out matters. What makes this sting even more is how much Gordon was supposed to mean to this defense. This organization didn't just extend him. They made him the highest-paid nickel cornerback in football. That's not symbolic money, that's foundational money. And yet here we are, talking about a career-low 117 snaps across 3 games, 117. After a hamstring wiped out training camp and the first 4 weeks. After a calf injury landed him on injured reserve for 5 more weeks. And now a groin injury suffered in pre-game warm-ups of all things. You cannot make this up. I don't envy Ben Johnson right now, because while he's an offensive mind by trade, this situation tests his leadership more than any play call ever could. You're missing one of your highest-paid defenders. You're dealing with a secondary that's been battered all season. And you're trying to hold off a pack of NFC teams hunting you down for a playoff spot. That's not theory, that's pressure, real pressure. The kind that tells you exactly what kind of head coach you're going to be. And yet here's where I give Johnson and his staff real credit. They didn't fold. Dennis Allen did fold. This defense didn't collapse. Instead, they adapted, they pivoted, they found answers. And the biggest answer has been C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Let's call it what it is, he's been a revelation. 33 tackles, 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, a forced fumble, an interception in just 6 games. He stepped into Gordon's role and didn't apologize for it. He plays with an edge. He plays with violence. And most importantly, he plays every week. Now that matters, because while no one is calling this a one-to-one replacement, Gardner-Johnson has made it very uncomfortable for the front office to ignore his impact. Ben Johnson may not say it publicly, but you can feel the reality setting in. This lost season from Gordon isn't just bad luck, it's data. It's information that will shape how this roster is built moving forward. It might accelerate contract talks with Gardner-Johnson. It might force contingency plans that didn't exist last spring. And let me be clear before anyone starts screaming about buyer's remorse. One bad season does not invalidate the decision to extend Kyler Gordon early. That's not how smart teams operate. The logic was sound. Pay early, beat the market, secure a core piece. But the risk has now shown itself in full HD. When you commit top-of-the-market money, you're also committing to scrutiny. And Gordon's inability to stay on the field in 2025 has earned that scrutiny, fair or not. Now Ben Johnson has to do what great coaches do, compartmentalize. You don't get to feel sorry for yourself. You don't get to lament what could have been. You line up on Sunday against Cleveland, with Brittain Brown elevated to cover depth issues at running back and Jalen Reeves may have been brought up to bolster special teams, and you go to work. This is December football. This is survival football. So here's the real question for Bears fans. Do you trust Ben Johnson to navigate this adversity, to keep this team steady without one of its most expensive defenders, and to still punch a playoff ticket? Or does Kyler Gordon's season-ending move feel like the crack that could widen at the worst possible time? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in with the Bears community, because the next 4 weeks will tell us exactly who this team really is.